welcome you and thank you for attending our last of our Propel sessions. It's been quite a successful run of, I think we had 7 different sessions, 4 of them operational, 3 on a more strategic level. The recordings will be available shortly on the login, or sorry, the registration page, I believe, probably within the next couple of weeks. We'll make sure that we send something out and let you know that they're there. This is our last session, and we have welcome Stephen Brooks. Is our presenter today. Stephen is, as you may well know, across the board, is our support manager and does a damn fine job of it, if I do say so myself. You know, Stephen is very, very visible to you folks, but he does have a team behind him that helps and does most of the support work. And Stephen manages to keep it all together for us. And you know, we appreciate Stephen tremendously. I know that when I was a client in the old days, you know, I always knew that if Stephen had his eye on it, that it would, something would get accomplished. So with that, Stephen's going to be your presenter for the next 30 minutes or so. Please remember that there's a chat. If you have any questions, please pop them into the chat area. Stephen has a pretty full agenda, so I'm going to turn it over to him. Thanks, Stephen.
Thank you, Diana. I appreciate that introduction and those kind words. And welcome, everybody. I hope you're all safe and well as well. And I want to thank you for joining me this afternoon and giving me the opportunity to let you know more about what the WellServe team has been up to this year, and also introduce you to the members of the support team. We've had some additions to the support team in 2020, and this is an opportunity for me to acquaint you with the entire team, especially since more and more we seem to be reaching out to each other over virtual meetings. Our experience in 2020 has likely been much similar to your own. The team has been working remotely from home since the start of the pandemic in March. The remote rollout for iPipeline was relatively seamless. Preparations had been made in advance of March to ensure the team could work from home if necessary. And when the call was made to self-isolate, we all started using Microsoft Teams as our means of communicating with both clients and colleagues. We've been doing this for 9 months now, with probably at least a few more to go. And I certainly have been put on mute enough to know that I have a healthy mute jar, which once we can safely visit banks again, I'm sure I can put to good use in 2020. So I'm going to share my screen with you. Perfect. So this may be an unusual picture to include in the presentation, but it is getting to know your support team. And this is a picture of me. It was taken in late October 2019. And I used this picture to remind me, as a reminder that I can get through 2020. So I don't look very happy in this shot. This shot was taken in Cambridge, Maryland. I had just emerged from the Choptank River after completing a 2.4-mile swim on the way to completing my 13th Ironman. The Choptank is a brackish water. It's fed from the Atlantic, and it's pretty much zero visibility when you're swimming in it. And about 20 minutes before this picture was taken, I had the misfortune to get stung by a jellyfish in the face. And I actually think it happened twice, but it's painful enough that you don't really notice the second one. So I'm in a lot of discomfort in this picture, with still a 112-mile bike ride to go and a marathon ahead of me. And that's how I feel about 2020. We've got hit by the pandemic. Now we just need to persevere through the discomfort until we get back to a new normal. Okay, so there are 4 topics that I want to touch on today. Support team goals for 2020 that we set out for the team in 2019, product work that team has been involved in, project and SOW work, and performance and looking ahead to 2020. Okay, just trying to get the screen. There we go. When the support team was planning for 2020, we had one major goal for the year, and that was to reduce the number of support tickets for WellServe investments by 20% year over year. Why was this our goal? Several reasons. Better client service and experience. The support team is here to help you manage your business. However, every ticket you need to open with us means your focus is taken away from managing your business. By reducing the number of tickets you open, we are allowing you more time to focus on what matters most to you, which is ultimately to improve your customer's life and help them prepare for their future. Anything we can do to help is just better for your customer overall. Reduce support costs. That applies both to iPipeline and you. It takes time for you to open tickets. It takes time for us to action them and time for you to confirm that they are resolved, all of which can be better spent elsewhere. And this allows the support team to focus more on product enhancements and project work. As you may know, the support team is a self-contained multidisciplinary unit. We do it all. We provide support, we create product enhancements, we spearhead your SOW and project work, and we deal with performance and stability issues. The team includes your project manager, business analysts, QAs, developers, technical and team leads. They're kind enough to let me be on the team too, but mostly I just try and stay out of their way. I'm here to serve them as much as I am you. Okay, so it's a pretty lofty goal. So how are we going to pull it off? There are three approaches. One, reduce bugs. Bugs are always going to happen. It's the nature of software development. Our task is to catch as many as possible before they get to you and stamp out the ones that already exist. Less bugs, less tickets. It's a pretty simple equation. More self-service tools. WellServe is big, it's broad, it does a ton of stuff, but it doesn't always do what you need it to do. Adding more self-reliant tools allow you to do more yourself, meaning less tickets. Reduce technical issues. Similar to bugs, technical issues are here to stay. The more functionality and complexity we add to the system, the more likely the chances something will break. If we focus on automating and alerting and upgrading as much as possible, less will break, meaning less tickets. Okay, so how did we do in 2020? So let's look at support tickets first. So support tasks, they're mostly about data. There's generally too much, not enough, not the right kind. You can't find it, you can't download it, you can't print it, or it just doesn't make sense. Overall, support tasks represent about 2/3 of the tickets that are open with us. And if we do a comparison between 2019 and 2020, this is January to November numbers. In the green is 2019 and the yellow is 2020. You can see that there's a slight increase in support tickets in 2020. The actual percentage overall is 10.5%. Why? Quite simply, we have a lot more data. And I would like to introduce you to Sarah and Emily. Sarah and Emily are both developers on WellServe. They are heavily involved in triaging tickets when they are first open. Sarah is on the insurance team and Emily is on the investments team. Emily is also one of our go-to resources for broker management. She's been with the team 5 years and Sarah's been on the team with 2 years. Next is our how-to tickets. How-to tickets are really self-explanatory. There's questions about how do I do something in WellServe? How-to tickets represent almost 8% of tickets that are open with us. Overall, year over year, there has also been a slight increase from 2019 to 2020. And how-to tickets have been up 6.5%. Barry Hall is our senior support analyst and answers many of these tickets. He has been with iPipeline for 11 years, and he's actually been working with WellServe for 21 years. Larry supports Blue Sun Advisor in addition to WellServe and is a key resource for how the systems interact. In terms of technical issues, these tickets are normally about a system resource or function that doesn't work as expected and usually does not involve code or data changes. Technical issues make up about 18% of the overall tickets. And again, year over year, I think you can actually see a dramatic change year over year between 2019 and 2020 with a great significant decrease in the amount of technical support tickets that were opened with us. We actually saw a drop of 58.3%. Why? So one big contributor is a drop in data mine reporting issues. You may recall heading into 2020, we were experiencing some performance issues with reporting that was due to a sudden increase in the overall usage of reporting. In all of 2019, our report servers served approximately 1.5 million reports. Then in the month of January 2020 alone, the report count was 1.1 million reports, which certainly put a strain on our existing resources. So we made a number of changes to address this increase. We added additional report servers. We dedicated a report server directly, specifically to serve scheduled reports, and we changed how load balancing worked between the servers. We added more self-service tools, Fit being an example that replaced some existing tools that didn't always function as expected when you used them. And we added more alerting to let us know when there are issues so that we could address them, often before you knew about them, or in the event there was not a quick fix, to give you some advance warning. Matt Yetman spearheaded many of these changes, especially with regards to data mine reporting. A lead software developer, Matt has been with iPipeline for 9 years, and he is our in-house expert on all things database. And lastly, bugs, which are a problem with the product that are caused by errors in the programming code or a failure of the software to conform to the design of the specifications that are intended. Bugs represent about 5.5% of all tickets. Obviously, the lower the number, the better. Year over year, you can also see there has been a dramatic change in the number of bugs that have been reported in WellServe. With an overall drop of 72.3%, which was largely in part to a new defect tracking system that was implemented in 2020. This was introduced by Sadaf and Rabia. Sadaf and Rabia are QA analysts that are recent additions to the WellServe team. Rabia has been with us for 1.5 years and Sadaf for 8 months. Sadaf actually started in March, so I think she had 5 days in the office before we all cleared out. Together, their new defect tracking system captured 78 bugs before they made it to production this year. So that's a main reason for the great reduction in the number of bug tickets that we got this year. So overall, how close did we get to our 2020 goal? So here you can see the breakdown of percentage in tickets by client year over year. Again, this is January to November 2020. For clarity, I'm only showing clients with tickets that are more than that have more than 50 overall, because a small change can skew the graph. You can see all clients, with the exception of 3, opened less tickets with us in 2020, and some of them significantly less, with only 2 seeing any meaningful increase. And these clients that did see the increase have both investments and insurance, and I believe they saw the increase mostly on the investment side. So overall, we had a decrease in tickets year over year, 21.7%, which is just slightly above our target, and we're looking to continue that trend to the end of 2020. So next up, I'll just touch on some of the product work that we did in 2020. When COVID hit, as you know, COVID spend on SOWs and project work was put on hold temporarily while we all tried to figure out what social distancing meant. We took advantage of this period, which went from March to August, to improve WellServe, starting with Fit. So Fit stands for File Import Tool, and it enables insurance users to add, update, and delete data in bulk in WellServe, rather than having to make the change manually, which can be time-consuming and also you don't have to rely on us to do it on your behalf. Fit updates broker and policy data in the system and relies on some predefined advanced queries to assist with the process. And Fit is a paid subscription service. So there's a policy Fit, which allows you to update status of policies in bulk. And there is a broker Fit, which is much more advanced, can update broker tombstone data, phone, email, banking, AGA ID, comp grids, and tags. There is also a Circle of Support Fit, which is free to clients, which allows clients to update Circle of Support changes for brokers in bulk as well. Thomas and Mark Tov are new developers with the insurance team, and they were instrumental in the API development of Fit. Thomas has 10 months under his belt, and Mark has been on the team for 1 year. We also made changes to Advanced Query. So Advanced Query is an ad hoc reporting tool that allows users to access and query WellServe insurance tables using predefined views that can be extracted to CSVs. During the year, we added a number of AQ tables, hierarchies, AGA hierarchies, hierarchy license, MGA, and client additional info. We also added some new views. circle of support, employee, broker ledger, accrual, commission run, and commission transaction. And we also added more fields to existing advanced queries. We added fields to agent hierarchy, check, broker, task, and policy advanced queries. John Manel is the team product manager and for the insurance team, and he celebrated 10 years with iPipeline during the pandemic. Advanced query is his favorite part of WellServe, and we have a video on our self-help page where he discusses the virtues of AQ, which I encourage you to check out, as that's very informative how to use this feature. Secure messaging is a new feature that allows advisors and assistants and AGA users to securely send and receive messages and documents to multiple recipients between back office and Blue Sun advisors. This was phase 1 of secure messaging, and I've already seen some great feedback from many of you on helping to improve the product further and increase adoption. Zin was promoted to technology manager this year. He has been with WellServe for 5 years and is responsible for the technical details of the platform, including secure messaging. He also added some feeds this year. We added 3 new feeds: Sun Life eApp, SSQ Enforce feed, an Equitable Life Pending feed, and we made some updates to an RBC feed. Over the course of the year, we also enabled 20 feeds for our clients. And internally, we reevaluated the process for enabling fees. Historically, we know that there's been some time between when a client asks for a feed to be enabled and when we're able to schedule the work in. This has been due in large part to the process we have to go through to enable a fee. And there are many moving parts, all which need to sync up for it to happen. We recognize that we could improve this process, and the team updated the process so the time from request to go live is much shorter. And I'll touch on that more about what these changes mean in a few minutes. McCubbin is a developer. He's been on the team for 4 years, has both WellServe and investment experience, and is one of the most experienced developers when it comes to feeds, including eApp, Pending, Apexa, and Apexa to WellServe. On the investment side, there were 2 product updates. These were ESG 30 and in-cash transfer. And we also added some self-help functionality for Transrec requests, so clients could action these themselves, and also provided the ability to delete quick entries so the investment team no longer had to do these on your behalf as well. Roddy serves double duty as both BA and product owner for WellServe Investments. And like John Manel, also hit the 10-year milestone with WellServe during the pandemic. Project work is next. Once things started to stabilize in August, clients began to come back with us for requests for project work. And the team spent August to November focusing on doing what we could to fulfill all your custom requests, which included executing on conversions, installs, analytics extracts, and 62 SOWs that were completed. Working with you to work out the requirements for all this work are the insurance team, 2 BAs, Debbie and Parisia. Debbie has been with iPipeline for 5 years, and Parisia is our 2nd team member that came on board with iPipeline. She came on board completely remotely in July, supporting the work for those SOWs and project work are Daniel, who has been with iPipeline for 4 years. He was promoted to development manager midway through 2020. And Fayez, who has been with iPipeline for 2.5 years, and most recently has joined WellServe on the insurance support team. Hasn't all been great news this year, and we did have our jellyfish to the face moment. As you know, in late October, there were some latency issues that started to occur in WellServe. Specifically with WellServe Insurance, which impacted a number of areas, including feeds, accruals for those using analytics extracts, and for some new latency in processing commissions and timeouts using the Outlook plugin and a broker search. So we know these have been pain points for your users, and we recognize that we need to do better. I can tell you the team takes this very seriously, and our goal is to provide you with the best experience we can. And when we fall short of this, we're disappointed, as I know you are. So I'd like to take this opportunity to give you some insight as to why this happened and what has been done to resolve the issue and what is still planned. The root of the issue was due to a planned database upgrade to WellServe Insurance that was completed in September. This upgrade was necessary for support, as support for the existing database version of the system was ending with the manufacturer. Upgrade was planned for more than a year, and the upgrades were soaked in the UAT environment for 8 months before going live into production without issue. WellServe Insurance was the last upgrade. WellServe Investments and all the other database systems we have had been upgraded prior, also without any significant issues. When the upgrade was completed, there was no indication of any performance issues, and this only started to occur several weeks after the upgrade, at which point, unfortunately, there was no path to reverting back to the previous version. A team was assembled to dedicate all their time to identifying, mitigating, and resolving the performance issues as a high priority. This included members of the insurance and investment teams, our IT team, and iPipeline's global database team to leverage their expertise. Our approach focused on short, medium, and long-term solutions. Short-term solutions were intended to relieve the pressure of the system as quickly as possible. These changes involve implementing some system configurations and optimizations recommended by the global database team, and identifying and improving the small number of processes that consume the greatest amount of system resources. These fixes were implemented in our system as soon as they were tested, and these changes have addressed issues with the Outlook plugin broker searching and most feeds processing. In terms of medium-term solutions, those were designed to address those items that are better released with our standard product deployments, as they have a higher potential for impacting system functionality and therefore need to undergo more validation. These changes included increased hardware resources and product updates. These have addressed the issues with the accruals, and further changes are being tested to address some remaining latency and commission processing. And finally, long-term solutions, where we are focusing on fundamental changes in our systems and processes to reduce the likelihood of future performance issues. And that's going to be continue to be our main focus for 2021. And finally, for today, I just wanted to revisit again the feeds as to which I alluded to earlier. So if you recall, from January to November 2020, we enabled 20 feeds. Now that we have redeveloped our feeds process, we have scheduled enabling 50 feeds from December to June 2021, which I think is great news for you, as the timeline between a feed being requested and enabled has been greatly reduced due to the improvements we made. And Bernie has been a new addition to the team to roll these feeds out. Bernie is a software developer. He's been with iPipeline for 4 months, and he is steadily progressing through enabling these feeds. I've seen a handful of these go live already this week, so look for those to continue progressing through the new year. So that's an overview of what's been going on for the support team this year. I would like to thank you for your time today. I've been with iPipeline for 8 years, yeah, I think I can hand it back to Diana at this time.
Terrific. Thank you, Stephen. As you can tell, folks, that there's a lot that goes on at iPipeline with respect to WellServe, and Stephen does a yeoman's job keeping it all together, and I really appreciate Stephen's support and the work that he does for you, our clients.